Ice Block is dropping a large number of sensations, and this time he is uncovering Jay-Z and Diddy's off-putting business. You realize I've been working with, on the enormous three for quite a while. And you know how they with me with that, and in view of the hard-hitting truth Ice 3. D Square shared Jay-Z seems, by all accounts, to be engaged with some tricky circumstance very much like Diddy. Yet there is more than that in light of the fact that others are guaranteeing that the couple had been engaged with other sketchy things even under the watchful eye of Cassie documented her claim against Diddy and presently large names. For example, Big Deal, Little R. Kelly, Alia, and even Beyonce are in the image. By the way, wasn't this overall when Alia kicked the bucket, no doubt. Beyonce's performance, Vocation was battling Come On You Hornet record. Puffy has been bringing in cash off of Big Deal's name for longer than Big Deal was alive. Individuals continue failing to remember he had turned 25 yet. He was as yet 24 when he kicked the bucket. I think we as a whole concur that this will be really muddled, so pause for a minute or two and ensure you continue to watch. Diddy had been in the red since Cassie documented her claim anyway, while a many individuals accept that he is going to confront his destruction. There are as yet a couple of individuals who accept he did nothing off base. Obviously, we as a whole realize that Puff had been blameworthy in the court of popular assessment. And since the very beginning, yet certain individuals in the business actually showed him support. Yet fans were truly trusting that Jay-Z will join the conversation. Yet shockingly, he didn't. Not long after individuals began thinking in light of the fact that the two had been extremely close. As a matter of fact, Diddy as of late said that his mom and Jay-Z might address him as Sean. Shockingly, a photograph of Jay-Z might in any case be found on Diddy's site. Also, the way that Diddy would give Jay-Z praises for venturing into the strides of hotshots like Big Deal and Tupac. This was after Jay Fade analysis after he teamed up with the NFL, and very much like the old buddy that he is, Diddy was there for Jay to sum up. Diddy has had him covered starting from the start, and he expressed straightforwardly on Instagram that Jay-Z is perhaps of the best craftsmen he has at any point known and has forever been there for people in hip bounce culture, including himself. Jay additionally introduced a video montage for Diddy's Lifetime Accomplishment Grant at the 2022 BT Grants, alluding to him to act as an illustration of youth. Starting from nothing, you got to have a touch of insane. You can't take no for a response, you got to get it going. He encapsulates that for this reason. Fans concurred that Jay-Z and Diddy's security gives off an impression of being strong and that nothing can isolate them any longer anyway. We as a whole realize that beneficial things don't stand the test of time, and Jay-Z and Diddy's companionship is no exemption, and most as of late Ice Shape started expressing incredibly stunning things about the probably invulnerable association. This came after the rapper proposed that Jay-Z would blame everything on Diddy because of the public examination Diddy is going through. And you won't completely accept that the thing Ice Shape said about both of them. I consider both these fellows were killed in some sort of manner. More Big Deal than Tupac. Ice 3D Shape dropped a few gigantic clues during a meeting, carrying an unforeseen contort to the discussion. He expressed that Big Deal's hit was connected to some realized government thing, taking care of hypotheses about Diddy's cooperation, and certain individuals accepted him could wound up dead by a fella that they had an episode with before that day. Yet Big Deal appears to be a little legislative while others stayed questionable. A few fans started digging further into the subject to ultimately make quick work, all things considered. Also how Panther Wright talked about it, and her accounts give off an impression of like Ice 3D Shape has been expressing indeed. Then and afterward sensible uncertainty was occurring, and afterward, women in the image and woman's structure. Rockefeller and everyone's discussing Jay-Z, and like I said, Big Deal passed on, Tupac passed on, and afterward there was the battle between who was the top rapper nowadays and Jay-Z's, and afterward before you know it, Nas has a mental meltdown and he's removed from the game, and it saw Jay-Z, and with ongoing disclosures in regards to Diddy's fights in court with Cassie, including 4 separate claims, it's protected to feel that they're doing great since something should get going on for a lot of people to unexpectedly come up. Lastly, shout out about Diddy's dull mystery. Not long after many started to rethink Ice Solid Shape explanations, since they abruptly checked out at one point. Ice Shape E additionally referenced a specific tip-top whelp that had been pursuing him, and yes, many individuals accept he is discussing the scandalous Hollywood elites who were supposed to be controlling celebs in the business, and what I understand with the club makes them so distraught is the point at which you would rather not be a piece of they club that annoys them, not to add that he isn't precisely known for advancing untruths yet. This isn't the end since Ice Shape has additional dazzling privileged insights in his control that will victory. He additionally uncovered a few stunner realities about Diddy and Jay-Z, and we should simply accept he's suggesting that similar people are attracted to one another. Yet it turns out Jay-Z's far more awful than Diddy. Well, basically that is what Ice 3D Square had been talking about. He's making serious charges expressing that Jay-Z, like his BFF Diddy, has been associated with a few pretty questionable activities with underage females. This is a ton to take in, yet it's to be expected, assuming you've been hearing murmurs regarding it for a really long time. Individuals have been discussing Jay's not being essentially as perfect as he looks via virtual entertainment, for instance. There had been tales about him prepping youthful females, or supporting others in the business in doing so, yet it isn't the main obscure business Jay-Z is accounted for to be engaged with. Here's one more shock: he used to be pals with R. Kelly. Yes, the person who wrecked the Ings big time with Aaliyah. And yes, I'm discussing a similar Aaliyah who unfortunately passed on in an exceptionally disputable plane accident. The most up was Aaliyah biting the dust that was the most up. No. Would it be a good idea for me? I needed to manage with that. You'll be astonished the way that individuals act when they believe you're harmed, yes. When they truly begin attempting to take actions on you. R. Kelly has a huge Hollywood association, and it's just expected that he can get individuals to call the shots and even sort of Elia's administrative workout. This may be the motivation behind why he figured out how to get hitched to a minor, and think about what who purportedly assisted him with doing this. Well, no other than Jay-Z when he did the record with an Ushu. Him with Jay, that is. I was somewhat that was practically similar to something where I was very much like he's gone Jake. I just let it go cuz I was unable to accept he did a task with her with R. Kelly. Realizing that he had assaulted my young lady, yet a modern-day miracle. This was not whenever he first supposedly faked administrative work, since reports proposed that he had been doing this for quite a long time, and lots of excavators had been the casualties of this plan. Envision how untidy things are in Hollywood, since it's unrealistic, right? Anyway, things got more delicious when Ice Solid Shape entered the image, and the rapper had lots of tea to spill about Jay-Z and Diddy. Ice 3D Square started by raising Tara Marie. She was in the blend at Def Dilemma with Jay-Z before she became perceived on Affection and Hip Jump, and he was all around her, naming her the Marx Princess and the principal woman of Rockefeller. Quick forward to her prom night when Jay-Z suddenly drops her from the mark with no great explanation. It was then found that Jay-Z informed Crown Marie that she was being discharged since her presentation collection didn't get along admirably yet. Look out for the insights, don't core. Innate, since her record sold 69,000 duplicates and arrived at number 5 on the Bulletin 200 even board, composed an article about it. Also the way in which it additionally catches the second right on target, the R&B and hip jump collection graphs, which isn't terrible for a presentation, yet Jay-Z regarded maybe it were a monstrous failure shooting her with not a great explanation. Fans even brought up that Rihanna delivered her presentation half a month after the fact, selling 69,000 duplicates to ya. At her collection crusted lower at number 10 by Jay-Z's rationale. Rihanna ought to have been in a comparable situation as Headband at this point. Rihanna is as yet standing. Why the not-so-mystery ingredient, as per Rice Solid Shape, is that Jay-Z was purportedly drawing near with Crown at the time, in spite of the way that she was still in secondary school, yet stand by it. It gets a lot hazier. L.A. Reid evidently hopped in with the general mishmash, as per a visually impaired article he supposedly connected with Crown first, then given her to Beam J, who then, at that point, sent her out to Jay. Perhaps for this reason, their relationship had been really chaotic. In any case, get your butt out of here, go return home. You need a low, okay? I better believe it's undeniably screwed up, particularly given that she was an adolescent at the time, yet stand by. There's additional Beam J and headdress opened up to the world in 2006 following Jay-Z unloaded her. She was 18 and he was 25, yet claims circled that Their relationship started before she arrived at lawful age. This is where Jay-Z's story starts to disentangle, assuming her introduction collection was such a failure that he was prepared to shoot her. For what reason was she dealing with a follow-up? Kindly remember to buy in and open the warning chime for the most recent Hollywood tattles and show it will help me a ton. Thank you kindly ahead of time. As per the visually impaired thing, Jay-Z dropped crown since Beam J needed headdress all to himself. F and was envious that Jay was in the blend. Rumors from far and wide suggest that Beyonce learned about the issue and put her foot down, requesting Jay-Z cut attaches with headband totally the way that you folks end at Carrie Hilson's profession, since she expressed something about you that is the way you all are, the way you step on anyone to remain on the top. Talking about Beyonce,